Imagine being born into ownership, not figuratively, literally. Your mother was enslaved, your grandmother too. You come into the world already belonging to someone else. This isn't history. This is happening right now in Mauritania. And here's the twist too many don't see coming. The master isn't always Arab. Sometimes the master is black. Sometimes the oppressor and the oppressed share the same skin, but not the same power. The chains aren't always iron. Sometimes they're inherited. A nation with slavery in its bones. Mauritania was the last country on earth to outlaw slavery, but abolishing it on paper didn't end it in reality. Slavery is still alive, quiet, vicious, and passed down through bloodlines. People are born into servitude. They grow up serving families they did not choose. Their names, their identities, their futures already claimed. In many places, the system has become so normalized that it isn't even hidden anymore. The caste system. This isn't just about race, it's about caste, lineage, social hierarchy. For generations, black Mauritanians, especially those born into the slave caste, have been trapped at the bottom. And while historically many slaveholders were lighter-skinned Moors, that's not the full story. In some regions, black slaveholders own black slaves. Power isn't always held by those who look different. Sometimes it's held by those who look the same, but belong to a different rung on the ladder. In Mauritania, slavery isn't just about colour, it's about inherited status, it's about who controls and who obeys. What slavery looks like today. In modern Mauritania, chains aren't the main method of control. The chains are psychological, social, economic. People work the fields without pay. Women are forced into domestic servitude, often enduring sexual abuse. Children born to enslaved mothers automatically inherit the slave status. They grow up believing this is their fate, that they belong to someone else. Leaving isn't just forbidden, it's unimaginable. Many don't know life outside the master's household. The black master reality. This is the part that shocks people. The slaveholder is not always the stereotypical Arab man. In some cases, the slaveholder is black, the same skin, the same history of colonial wounds. But one has power, one doesn't. This isn't betrayal of race. It's proof of how deep caste systems run. Oppression can be recycled, it can be inherited, it can be turned inward. Some who were once close to the bottom now mimic their former oppressors, exploiting others trapped below them. The state of the law. Mauritania has laws against slavery. But laws mean nothing when they're barely enforced. Slaveholders almost never face real punishment. Victims are left to prove their enslavement without resources, without power, and often without education. And when they dare speak out, they face intimidation and violence. Anti-slavery activists have been arrested, threatened, or disappeared. The state likes to claim the problem is over. But the truth is, it was never really confronted. Generational trauma. The cruelty isn't just physical, it's psychological. Enslaved people grow up believing their fate is fixed. They're given no education, no independence, no way out. Mothers are forced to serve while their children are treated as property. Entire generations never know what it feels like to make a choice about their own lives. And even when someone escapes, they're often still branded by society as slave class. Freedom isn't just about walking away. Freedom has to be recognized by the world around you, and in Mauritania that recognition is still missing. Why this truth matters. If we only picture slavery as Arab masters and black slaves, we erase part of the story. We ignore the cruel truth that systems of power can infect anyone. That oppression doesn't just live in skin color, it lives in structures, in hierarchies, in traditions twisted to justify cruelty. To expose slavery fully, we must be honest about all of it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the master looks like the victim. What must change? Real change won't come from pretty words. It means enforcing the laws that already exist. It means real prosecutions, real punishment for slaveholders, no matter who they are. It means lifting survivors out of the slave caste with housing, education, and protection. It means supporting the activists inside the country who risk everything to expose this darkness. And it means the world must stop pretending this isn't happening. Naming the crime for what it is. This is slavery, not bonded labor, not servitude, not cultural tradition. Slavery, women shackled to men, children born as property, people denied their humanity. Whether the master is Arab or black doesn't change the horror. A chain is still a chain. Mauritania may feel far away, but distance is a coward's excuse. When one human being is chained, the world is smaller than we pretend, and the silence around Mauritania is deafening. Governments know, NGOs know, the media knows, but outrage only comes in headlines, never in handcuffs for the oppressors. Every day the world looks away, the chains tighten. Every day we scroll past, someone's life gets smaller. Slavery is not a shadow of the past, it's a present tense verb. It lives in villages, in dusty compounds, in households where a woman serves a family that claims to own her. It lives in the mind of a child born with no name, just a role, slave. It lives in families where freedom is a rumor, not a right, and this is not rare. This is systemic, it's structured, it's inherited. Slavery in Mauritania is a machine that keeps running because too many are invested in its silence. And here's the cruel truth no one wants to say out loud. Skin color does not make you immune to becoming an oppressor. Some of the masters are black. That fact should shake people, because it shatters the lazy story we like to tell. The story where evil always wears a different face, but oppression isn't always foreign. Sometimes it grows right inside the house. Sometimes it's passed down like an heirloom, hand to hand, generation to generation. Power doesn't care what color it wears. These slaveholders are not relics of a feudal era. They are living people in the here and now. They sit at dinner tables, they shake hands in markets, they walk freely while the people they own wash their clothes and feed their children. They live in a world that has told them over and over again that the enslaved are not equal, that they are property. And because no one stops them, they keep believing it. But let's be honest, and this is bigger than one country. This is what happens when societies pretend that power is naturally inherited. When caste systems are left to fester. When poverty and silence become the shackles holding people down. Slavery survives because power is convenient. It survives because those with power tell themselves a story that makes the cruelty feel normal. And the world, the so-called civilized world, lets them. We love to talk about slavery as if it's a chapter already closed, a history lesson, a sin our ancestors committed. But in Mauritania, there's no chapter break, there's no clean ending. The story just keeps going, and the silence isn't history, it's complicity. Imagine being born to a woman who has never owned her name. Imagine your first breath marking you not as a child, but as property. Imagine growing up under someone who believes your blood belongs to them, that your body is theirs to command, that your labor is theirs to harvest, that your pain is theirs to ignore. That's not just slavery, that's the theft of a future. Freedom for the enslaved in Mauritania isn't just about breaking chains, it's about unlearning the lie that they were ever meant to wear them. It's about facing a society that still sees them as slave caste, even after they escape. Freedom is a fight with no finish line. Because the moment a slave walks away, the world doesn't suddenly treat them as human. They have to demand to be seen. And too often, no one's looking. Let's talk about accountability. There is no justice in polite outrage, no justice in hashtags without teeth, no justice when the masters sleep soundly while the enslaved count the stars through iron-barred windows. Real justice means exposure, names, arrests, consequences. It means governments treating slavery like the crime it is, not the tradition they pretend it to be. It means every single slaveholder, Arab or black, facing real punishment. And it means giving survivors more than pity. They need protection, the means to rewrite the story they were born into, and for those of us outside that system, silence is not neutral. Silence sides with the master. It always has. Every quiet shrug, every "that's just how it is," Every headline that fades after 24 hours, all of that is fuel for the machine. The machine runs on neglect. When you turn away from slavery, you turn away from humanity itself. And here's the most dangerous myth, that this is someone else's problem. It isn't. Slavery doesn't need you to be a master, it only needs you to do nothing. So I'm saying this clearly, with no soft edges. Slavery is alive in Mauritania. Women are chained to men. Children are born into ownership. Entire families are treated as objects. And some of the people holding those chains are black. That's the uncomfortable truth. And it's time to stop hiding from it. What happens in Mauritania should haunt us. It should bother us at the dinner table. It should rattle the bones of anyone who's ever said, never again. Because never again doesn't mean a damn thing if it's happening right now. This isn't history. This is a crime scene. The masters will sleep well tonight. Their victims won't. Their victims will still be in the same places, with the same chains, breathing the same air, unseen. Unless we make it impossible for the world to look away, unless we speak it, loud, unapologetically, over and over again, until silence cracks. To the governments that pretend not to see, you have no excuse. To the institutions that tiptoe around this reality, your caution is complicity. To anyone who believes slavery ended with a date in a textbook, wake up. Freedom is not a slogan, it's a fight. And if freedom only belongs to some, then none of us are truly free. The chains in Mauritania are old, but they can be broken, not by whispers, but by fire, by naming, by exposing, by acting. This isn't their problem. It's ours, all of ours. Not right, not left, just real.